Hi, welcome to the Somerset Roundtable. I'm Virgil Pacheco and I'm joined with my co-host Holly McNamara. Our show is a spin-off from the Positively Somerset Facebook page. The intent of our show is to create a platform that communicates and informs the citizens of Somerset and highlights all things happening in town, as well as discussing local events, issues, and allowing citizens, business owners, nonprofits, and town department heads to have a voice. Now over to my co-host Holly McNamara to introduce our guest and show topic.
Hi everybody. We have the director for the past 3 years. This is his 4th summer. Director of Recreation, Barry. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I have 4 kind of theme or high-level ideas that I'd love for you to kind of weave into everything that you discuss. You have a lot of programs going on. I'd love for you to inform the audience, but keep in mind these kind of 4 high-level questions. How does recreation bring community together, the community of Somerset, and how do you supplement the existing small businesses and work with them? And also compare the community as it is with or without recreation. So what does it look like either way? And also, how do you work with other departments in town?
Well, that's basically what we do every day, Holly. Thank you for having me here, and it's a great spin-off from Positively Somerset, because having seen that, we see that there's so much to do in this town, and recreation is a big part of that. Recreation, I like to say all the time, it's not just for kids, it's for kids, adults, and seniors. We touch everybody, and we touch them every day through businesses and through local leagues. And
you mentioned too that you bridge that generation gap, right? So how do you do that?
Well, we try to do some different things with the Council on Aging. Like we host a senior picnic in the summertime. We actually try to do some things right over at the Council on Aging building with yoga classes. So we slowly but surely we try to do that, because there are a lot of seniors in town that they may not have grandchildren locally. So if we can bring kids over there, if we can let them be part of our group, it really fosters that good community spirit. Because like people say, you mentioned I'm the director of recreation. I don't like to call it that. Mm-hmm. Even though that's my title, I call myself a community builder. We build relationships with businesses, with other departments in town, and we bridge them together, because it's easy if you have a good time doing it. And I enjoy doing it. Having been here for 3 years already, you take the first year, just see how it works and see what you think might be missing. People come to me on a daily basis and say, "Hey, you want to try this? Can we try this? You know what you should do?" And I love when people do that, because I'll say, "Here's my card. Send me a proposal. Send me your ideas, and I'll bring it before the commissioners." And they're willing to sit there and listen to any proposal that comes about. We've done that over the past 3 years. A number of groups have come to us, whether it's a local business that does some recreation stuff, or it's a business that is involved in recreation but wants to help sponsor a program.
So what are some examples of those proposals, and how are they implemented?
Well, just recently, Somerset Flag Football, a group of local guys have wanted to get together, because they've dropped Somerset Middle School doesn't have a program anymore for football, and with the whole advent of concussions that are so prevalent in football, people are trying to get away from that. But there's a group of dedicated dads and moms that want to still see football. So they kind of talked to me last year about it, and with punt, pass, and kick with the NFL Play 60 program, they put together a proposal. I said, okay, this is great. we'll copy it, we'll send it out to our commissioners. At our next meeting, come on in and give a proposal and see if we can get it off the ground. And that's exactly what happened.
So how do you interact with these folks that come to you with a proposal or an idea? Do you just help facilitate the idea and get them started? Do you guys incorporate that into your program?
Well,
how does that work?
It works a couple of different ways. We don't physically have a staff that could run that program. But if there are people that are out there, they come under like our umbrella. They would set up a registration time frame and to find out and gauge how many kids would be interested in doing this, what age groups, what facilities they would need, if we have a facility available for them. Because we have some facilities, the schools have some facilities, so we try to make it so that we can work together on that. So in this particular case, the Somerset Flag Football League, they had an interest in doing either at a school site or one of our sites, Pottersville. I love being able to use Pottersville because anybody who's lived in Somerset for any amount of time will drive up and down County Street, and I hate to see it empty.
Yeah.
You want to see something going on there.
I say that all the time. I say Pottersville is kind of like in the center of town, and the more you can bring to that facility, the more people see and the more they interact with you guys.
More visibility for you as well.
I, like the commissioners will say, we don't worry about the kids we don't reach. We worry about the kids we do reach, and hopefully if you do a good enough job, they'll tell other people.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Like this past year, we had the Easter egg hunt at the Pottersville field. We hit about 8,000 eggs in that open field, and people were driving by on that day and say, well, maybe next year I'll go. People would call up, I didn't know you were having it there. Well, go on our website and you'll find all the different things that we have going on. It's impossible to tell everybody all the different things we do, but the website has been great for it. And shows like this has helped us too. It gives us the exposure because, I can talk to them blue in the face, but unless you actually put the information out there on our Facebook page, or unless you go and sit down and talk to a group of people at either a local church group or the kids at school to let them know what's out there to do.
So it sounds like you use technology to get your word out, but you also do kind of a grassroots communication.
Right. A lot of times I'll go early in the morning. I'll hit a few different coffee shops in the morning, and I learned that a long time ago that people will go to a coffee shop, and so I'll always wear a shirt that says Somerset Recreation, and now now people have gotten to know me. In town.
Kind of sparks that question.
Right. And say,
that interest.
And it's funny too, because we actually used a local guy to help us with our new logo, and it's really taken off because now we put that on everything. Because what are we known for?
Yeah.
In this town, at Pierce Beach, the Big Red Slide.
That.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So we had a local guy
That's awesome.
in town who does T-shirts, and he came and he said. Would you like to do something with a logo? I says, yep. I says, we're known for the Big Red Slide. So that's another business in the area, a Somerset resident that's actually come out and given his ideas. This is his idea. I'm just fostering it. I think it's pretty cool, because when I was in a previous directorship in Narragansett, we were known for the beaches and known for the towers. So everything we had was the towers and the beaches. So we had to find our niche, and the local people have helped us find our niche. Just tell me a story. I'll tell people all the time, come in, talk. Tell me a story. Tell me what it was like to be in recreation when you were a kid. It's changed so much.
Yeah.
It's changed so much. And that's why it's great to bridge that gap, because we'll sit and we'll talk to seniors at the Council on Aging playing Mahjong. I'll say, I don't know how to play Mahjong. So I went over there, and Sheila Weinberg, she said, well, we'll teach you. So I tried to sneak over there and go over there and do that, because they have their bingos, and when we have our senior picnics, I'll like to dance with the seniors, and because you've got to be active. They want to
They
be
do.
active. Sooner or later, we're going to be that age, and I'm not going to be sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I want to be active. So it's utilizing what's going on in the community, different people.
So going back to community ideas and programs like the flag football, would you consider yourself kind of like the educator? You know, where you basically help them streamline the program, the registrations, getting the word out, kind of, you know, join that with your programs and.
It's a delicate blend because you don't want to duplicate services. Like we try to partner with some different groups. Like we've had groups in the community over the past that Strive Gymnastics. We've had the different karate places in town. We've had different yoga groups in town. We've had actually the different leagues, the bocce leagues. So we can't go out and do our own. So we invite them in, we give them a place to play, give them a home, and we say, okay, how can we foster what needs to be done? Sometimes you do have to guide them and say, you know, they want the like the Fenway Parks of a field or a group, and say, look, you know, let's try and do this slowly. Like we've worked over the past few years with Teamworks. Teamworks has come to us, and they're a local business, and you know they've actually helped us with Pottersville basketball courts, and they kind of help us by running a league. We don't have the staff to be able to do that at this time, but they have it in place. They're a good community organizer as well, and they help us with that. So we branched out a little bit, and we had them do an adult flag football in the fall. On a Sunday morning, it was great. The field wasn't being used. They asked to use it. You know, we get a little bit of money that goes back to us for field maintenance type thing, and it works because no one's using it on Sunday morning, but
it's a win-win. It's a very big, sounds like a big collaborative effort. And it's also, what you were mentioning earlier, is a good conduit for younger kids to get that first taste of responsibility at a very low cost.
NFL, the NFL is so big these days, and the play 60 movement, and you know the people are really conscious about the concussion issues right now. But you hate to see kids not being able to go through football skills, and so you've got some guys who have been former coaches and have an interest and want to do that. So we will help facilitate that. And I'll give those kids a chance to play and learn, and let them decide, hey, is this for me or not?
Right.
And we do that with other groups as well too. You know, we had just recently the pitch hit and run with Major League Baseball. Hopefully, we have some kids going from our local competition we had 2 weeks ago to the sectionals, and then from there to Fenway Park, and maybe to the All-Star game. So anytime we can foster a small group to go on to do something else within the town, it's great to be able to say, hey, that kid, I know that kid was from Somerset. That kid, you know, he did really well.
Right.
We do sports, but now we're trying to do other things too. We have in this town a great collection of kids that are doing non-sport related activities, recreation. Recreation is active and passive. And recreation is, we're known as Music Town.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful state-of-the-art facility at the high school. You know, just 3 weeks ago, I took my granddaughter to see Beauty and the Beast, and you know, some of the kids that were...
It was incredible.
It was amazing. So some of those kids that were part of our summer staffing, you know, got together with me, and we're going to, this year, start for the first time, a dance theater program.
Oh, excellent.
So
I saw that on your website.
I'm so excited because I have a granddaughter now that does dance, and we took her to see Beauty and the Beast, and she loved it, and she all dressed up, and that's what we try to do with different activities.
That's a great kind of segue for the students. I think a lot of them can be, from what I hear, I actually just interviewed some scholarships candidates, and from what I hear, it's intimidating for them to make a huge time commitment at the high school when they get into school with band and theater and everything. But if they have that taste with recreation, they can streamline their entry into the program.
These kids are
without
so
fear.
busy.
Yeah.
They're so busy. And so what we try to do is we try to hire some of these kids and we say, look, we're not going to give you 40 hours a week.
Right.
Let's give you 15, 20 hours so you can still be a kid in the summertime.
Yeah.
And they love it. So,
And get the experience to
right.
prepare.
And some of them, it's their very first job experience. We did something this year. Mary Ellen Aspen, who was our chair this past year, her and I went down to the state conference down in Brewster, and one of the things that they do, one of the persons talked about was group interviews. And I've done them before, but we took it to a new level this year. We had 10 kids come in and on a group interview, and they had to actually either tell a joke, sing a song,
I've never been a part of that.
or a how-to demonstration. And our goal was, when we were watching the person doing the interview, was not only the person performing, was how the
interaction.
other people were interacting with that person.
Yeah, 'cause it's team building too. Yeah.
Right. So again, it's this whole thing. But I'm just excited that dance theater program. They even came up with some nice little names for the groups. For the first time, we're actually going down to 5 years old. We're doing they're called tiny tappers, and then the next age group is the jazzy juniors, and then the older kids. And we're this time, for the first time, we're going a little older, up to 14, because people say to us, well, what do you have for kids in middle school?
Right.
Because we have a very popular all-day summer program, and the kids they're crying at the end of the summer because
They don't wanna
they
leave.
know
Yeah.
if they're in 6th grade, it's the last time they're actually do it. So we're starting slow progress. I know you talked about future programs. We have to hit that middle group of
Correct.
kids.
Yeah.
So we do it with tennis. We do it with field hockey. We're doing it with volleyball this summer. So we try to do all these
I actually, when I was 5, when I turned 5, it was my first experience doing gymnastics. It was recreation, and it was a perfect entrance into the sport because there's not as much pressure. It's not a private club. You're not paying an exorbitant amount of money. You're in with the community, doing a sport that you might, you want to test out. And then I started to, a few years later, take private lessons and did it all the way through. I was the age of 19. So it was a great entry and way to build your confidence as a kid.
And I think if you talk to most parents, that middle school age group is the most difficult to
Definitely.
keep entertained.
Because you can't leave the kids home alone.
Right.
In the summertime, well, what do you have? And so we're starting the process, and I think that next summer we're gonna see some more dynamics with that, because
And it's a huge confidence builder for them.
you have to, because that's an awkward age, and so we do something with kids till they're 12, and then we wait until they're 16 or 17. We can start to hire them for different things. But okay, what do we do in the middle? So our
Yeah.
job is to mentor those kids. I get the best job to do that, because now you see the kids who've been through our program. They go to middle school. This past year, we had 15 middle school kids, part of their their community service project, help us with our pumpkin festival last summer. They loved it. They did face painting. They helped us with the games, the pumpkin carvings.
It keeps them involved, yeah.
You forget about those little things, but those are the things that kids remember. And they say, oh, I volunteered at the pumpkin festival, or I volunteered at the gingerbread workshop. People
It's
say,
rewarding.
So what do you
Yeah.
do all day long? I play.
It's rewarding.
Playground and recreation,
And you're affecting people.
and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to make some unpopular decisions.
Right.
Sometimes I have to say no, but I'll tell people, it's not no forever. It's no, not yet.
Correct.
Let me come up with a solution to your problem.
Right. You can't
Because
throw everything on the table right away.
it's a delicate blend. And
So you've been here for 3 years. You don't live in Somerset, right? So you seem extremely passionate about the town, and already very woven into the community. Obviously, your job has a lot to do with it. But so, what do you attribute that to? How do you feel about why Somerset?
well, I've worked, I'm a lifelong recreation person. I started off in recreation at a boys club. At age 13, learned how to teach swimming lessons at the age of 13 years old. And if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for a local boys club, I never would have gotten into lifeguard training, water safety instructor, gone out to the national, aquatic school, and that became my focus because they taught you how to teach. People say, "Well, you'd be a great teacher." I said, "I'm teaching anyways. I'm just not in a classroom. My classroom is a ball field. My classroom is a swimming pool. My classroom is a basketball court." So, I love the small town atmosphere. I have so many ideas about, what to do in a small town. It's just listening to the people.
Yeah.
They remember what it was like people my age will remember when they went and played baseball at Pierce Beach, and then they would travel all the way over to South Complex and have an inner-town championship game. They remember having playground programs at the small different parks around the town.
Yeah, and you create that bond, and I think in a smaller town you can create change and really have a bigger impact and stronger bonds, I think, with...
Coming from a family of 7,
Yeah.
My dad was a phys ed person, and he ran a program at a church called Fun and Fitness, and we had it. We took it, and all it was crazy little games, and it's kind of a segue in because we're going to be working with the public library this summer with Christine Matos, the children's director. They're going to come over to our all-day program on Wednesdays, and we're going to have some events at Pierce Beach on Wednesday nights, free to the public. And we're going to be calling them Wacky Wednesdays. And so it's great to be able to work with people who have the same vision and enthusiasm. It's easy,
Right.
And it's funny too, as you said, you started out at 13, right? And then you started to, become more of a trainer and a teacher. And it's funny because there are people, and I'm going to bring up the winner last year to the Raiders Remember scholarship. I can't remember her name right now, but
There were a couple.
But these are people that have worked in your program as counselors, and you can start to see that as they get older and they start getting to high school, they become more of the leader.
Yeah.
The captain of that, volleyball team or the basketball team and stuff like that. So they've kind of taken those skills that they've learned throughout recreation and have kind of taken that into their own career, or their own experiences.
I learned from a former recreation director who I worked for 12 years in North Providence as the pool director. He used to say, Harriet Beecher Stowe, he used to quote Harriet Beecher Stowe saying, plan your work, work your plan. How simple is that?
Yeah.
It's very simple. And so you learn from those different people. And I've worked in communities in Rhode Island, but I like the small atmosphere here. The people in town hall, they love the fact that my office is almost like the welcome office.
It really is.
And they love the fact that I have a little treasure chest
And candy.
And when kids come in to parents come in to register their kids for programs, I'll say, can they go to the treasure chest? And there's a box of candy in there. And if they can't have candy, there's stickers in the hidden drawer.
Yep.
So we
And your door's always open.
The door is always open, and we try to promote what we do, and it's promoting Somerset. We're a small town, but with big taste and big ideas. We do.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great sense of community here, and as we kind of go through, you kind of said promote, right? So promote some of the programs that you deal with. I mean, or you guys provide. You gave us 3 age groups, right? Children, adults, and seniors, right? I know it's not just recreation. You have a variety of different programs from sponsoring 5Ks throughout the summer, the concerts in the park. I know you collaborate with some of the high school sports programs to provide skills and recreational programs in the summer to get them prepared for fall sports. Here's your chance to just promote to the audience what recreation basically provides.
Well, this actually comes at a perfect time because we spend all winter preparing for the summer. But once the summer starts, we start preparing for the winter. So start this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, we open up the beach. We open up Pierce Beach. We'll have lifeguards in place. We'll have people there welcoming them to the park, showing them around, and we'll actually have special events. We have movies on the beach. You know, if you go on our website, you know, the website is great now. It has a listing of all the movies we'll be having. You know, the 3 movies we're going to be having later in the summer. But one of my goals is the way the Pierce Beach is laid out. The next time you drive down Riverside towards Pierce Beach, you look at and you see this vast beach, and it sticks out. So what we're planning to do is have, instead of having the movies in the back of the concession stand this year, have them right on the beach. So when you're driving up Riverside Ave this summer,
See all the people
see
sitting.
you'll see people, and they'll say, "Oh, it's almost like a drive-in."
Awesome.
So
I can walk there.
You can walk there.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So it's that, and then we have the concerts, and the people, the local marina. A lot of the people on a Sunday afternoon, they're coming back in from their boat ride, and there's music playing. We have 4 concerts ranging from the Beatles to pop to new wave stuff this summer, and they'll anchor right off the beach and just listen to the music. So we have that. Our big event is the Billington Memorial 5K race on the 4th of July. It's a big event we have, and every participant gets a mug for joining in the festivities. It starts at 8:00 in the morning. Boom, you're done, and you're ready to go spend the rest of the holiday with your family and friends.
And I want to stop you right there, because your first comment of community builder, you know, I kind of, that is kind of an event that, you know, kind of where we met.
That's where we met,
You know,
yeah.
with other producers on the show,
Yeah,
you know,
we
that
all met
volunteer.
there. Yeah.
And that was kind of where we started, you know, kind of discussing some of the different things that we do. So, you know,
Including
again,
this show.
again, it's not just, you know, an event, but, you know, a lot of the community comes out to these events, and they become, you know, kind of lifelong, you know, volunteers for you.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do it this year. We're going on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah, I mean, that's an event that we help out with all the time, you know.
And the thing is, some people say, you know, I can't run, I can't walk in a race. Okay, you know what? Just come out.
Yeah.
Spend an
Correct.
hour with us. Spend an hour with us. We need someone to, you know, to pass out waters.
Yeah.
You know, and we always looking for volunteers along the route. You know, we need someone waving the
I
flags.
held the flag.
Yeah,
I did not run.
That's right. Now I remember. Yes, waving the flag
With my little dog.
You know,
Yeah.
and I said it's great because, you know, it shows that community spirit. So we actually worked last 2 years with the 2 different school groups.
Correct.
For community for the
PTO fundraiser.
PTO fundraisers, both the South School and then
North.
before that was North
Yeah.
Elementary. So it worked out really well. So it's anytime you can do a walk or a run, you get caught up in this infectious behavior.
Yeah.
So
I
that
want to
again,
do another one. I want to do another one.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
again, that goes back to that initial, like, community can come out with an idea or an event. You know, they may not have all the tools or all the education to do that, but you guys have. So it's kind of almost becomes like a collaborative effort at that point, you know, where you can assist them, you know, but they kind
Right.
of keep their individuality in a sense.
Try and keep them in check and say,
Correct.
look, you know, let's be a little bit realistic in an event we can do. You know, one of the things that they talked about with CPA was one of the projects was a dog park. You know, and you know, I know in another community what we did was we had a dog walk one year.
Good idea.
You know, and we talk about future programs. You know, people walk their dogs all the time. Well, let's have a community event with a dog walk. Someone had brought that to our attention. Yeah, come to us. We'll sit down. We'll help facilitate it for you.
Correct.
You know, we're not going to do it all for you, but you know, and then they end up being part of our group. You know, and we talk about being part of the group. One of the things in town that has really spun off to help us out in recreation is the veteran senior work-off program. We have two volunteers that have been tremendous with us. One that's in the office, Betty Almeida. 41 years she worked in the court system, and she just in the office,
wow,
answering the phone.
Commitment.
She actually did a program for us. She is a handwriting analysis person, and she's well known around the country. And she's actually done a couple of programs for us, American cursive handwriting, and she's done it with the library. So we love having someone like her being able to give back to the community, and it's a tax write-off of the town. They give them a voucher for their taxes for the year. So,
And again, that's another one of those non-sport events.
Right.
That, there are certain youngsters nowadays that are not totally sports oriented, more in the gaming and whatnot.
How do these people come to you? Do they come to you? Do you seek them out?
well, what happens is they apply. They go to the town administrator's office. They fill out an application, and they put down their preferences, what they want to do. And every department actually has the opportunity to look through all the applications and see if that person, it might be a fit. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need clerical, and like a person like Betty, she's worked on elections. Mm-hmm. She's worked at the library. So we kind of share those people. So we look and see if there's somebody that could help us with what we're doing. Mm-hmm. The other person we have is Stanley Golombeski, and everybody is
The unsung hero.
Oh my God! If anyone ever goes to Pierce Beach, you have to realize he's 70. I shouldn't even say his age, but he's a seasoned veteran, and he's not afraid to tell you how old he is, but he was retired for many years, and he just was getting bored being retired, so he applied. And then I saw what he did, and I called him up. I says, come on in and talk. I says, would you like to help us at the beach? And it's only 50 hours a year that they're required to do. He gets his 50 hours done the first couple of months, or first month or two.
Yeah.
And every day, if you drive Pierce Beach, even in the wintertime, if it's sunny, the flag is up.
He's there.
He's there. He's going around with his grabber. You'll see his yellow Volkswagen. It says Mr. G on his license plate. And he'll go and he'll actually, he's a good representation of the town. Not just the recreation department.
That really cares. Genuinely cares.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's your social media guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's a promoter, and
I have to calm him down sometimes because slow progress is still progress. That's one of my mottos. He'll say, "Oh, I see you're gonna get your beach sand." He says, "When are they coming?" Whoa! You have to wait till July 1st.
That's great.
And so he has a vested interest, and he'll take the kids and he'll work with kids. But all winter long, he's a big help because people, if the weather is nice, people still go to that park.
Yeah.
Why? Big red
The
slide. People want to go down there.
Yeah.
And so he'll take care of the trash, and he'll talk to people, and you'll see him.
Yeah.
He's a good role model for our young kids. When you're talking bridging the gaps, he's working hand in hand with these kids.
correct.
And he's volunteering now. He's already done
The
his
50 hours are done, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a blessing for the town because, and so I've actually gone through a few more of the applications, and there are some other people that we're going to try and bring on board, and because you know what, when they see that it keeps them young,
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of people too, they want to be involved, they just don't know how. So hopefully with this, it'll help kind of ignite some interest and they'll
it
reach
helps.
out.
There is limited resources, for that program.
Right.
But I believe it hasn't been tapped out the 2 years. And as far as we're concerned, it's actually helped us out tremendously.
So if you had the ability to kind of look at the audience and ask for that help, what areas would you be looking for?
Well, again, we're looking for people that have a skill level in our department, recreation. If there's a skill that they have, organizing, or just being a mentor towards our kids. We need supervision. Kids need supervision. Mm-hmm. Even though they're working, they need supervision. And we have some people who are veterans who are in a command in the Army or the Navy, and they had some of that, and they may miss being able to work with people.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that these volunteers have to be working with, elementary school children, but it's more of your staff.
More of
It's
our
kind of
staff.
keeping an eye on the overall staff while you guys are taking care of the administrative part.
And special projects. We have one gentleman who's retired from the highway department, who knows the ins and outs of the highway department. So he's not ready to really call it quits, but he doesn't work full time. So he may work 5 hours a week on a special project. Like if we have a bench that needs to be repaired, we don't have a maintenance staff
Crew. Yeah.
year round. But just alone, this gentleman, Dovalino Martins, has taken care of a basketball hoop at Leahy Park. He's taken care of a bench there, and he's also helped out with some of the little bit of renovation at Pierce Beach. So we tap into some of those resources. We may find a retired teacher that might in there that might want to do a home alone safety program.
Right.
Because those are questions we get asked, is what are we doing? Years ago, I was 10, 11 years old. We were walking the streets, and you just can't do that anymore.
Correct.
Right.
So we need to look at the different applications, and it might not be a fit for us, but say, hey, this person might be good in the office answering a phone.
Yeah.
And helping us with registrations for special events that we have. Someone who could be the face of our department. And it may be 50 hours. It may be 20.
Right.
And then after they do the 50 hours, they may get hooked.
Yeah.
I may have latched on to them too.
Right.
So go back to the younger age group programs. What do you offer? I know you offer that day-long summer program. You offer after-school programs.
That the all-day.
Is that your bread and butter?
That's our big event. We have two big programs that we have. We have one after-school program during the school year. It's a 38-week program that we take the kids from the 3 elementary schools, and they meet up at Chase Street School, and we have staff that are either a college-age student or someone who is going to be going into college for education. And we do have one teacher that fills in once in a while for us, who runs our all-day summer program. He's been with the department for 9-10 years. So, he just loves doing it. He's a teacher in West Bridgewater, and Mike Carrera does a phenomenal job. So, after school program, it's from 3:15 to 6 o'clock. It gives parents a chance to have the kids go there. They can do a little bit of homework, and we do a different activity each day. It might be National Smile Day. So we will do something that has to do with that day. Every day is just a little bit different. The weather's nice, they'll go outside, use the playground, or if it's not so nice like today, they may have gone in the gymnasium and did an activity in the gymnasium. It's just a little something that the parents can say, oh, you know what, they work till 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And how do they get transported to the Chase Street?
They get transported. We have a bus that will pick up the kids at South School and also at North, and they get transported over to Chase. Where I met with the superintendent of schools to talk about possibly there may be a new program come the fall, and we may be able to help out with that. That they may be doing their own after school program, before school and after school program, which is fine, because there has to be something for parents to be able to do.
Right.
And if we can't do it next fall, we'll certainly come up with something, maybe with middle school.
Right. Or to collaborate somehow.
Collaborate with the schools and try to utilize the Council on Aging building after they're done their day. Again, maybe we get a couple of seniors to stay a little bit later. And to do some
keep them busy too. And
well, you know what? We're seeing
them young.
seniors getting younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were with the seniors, a few shows ago, and they actually have an interaction with the local preschool there.
Yeah,
With a
right.
Little Red. So I'm sure that they kind of enjoy that, and it kind of fills up their day, a little bit.
But the all-day summer program, that's our big program. It's an 8-week program. It starts on June 27th. Again, all the information is on the website, and registration is ongoing now. And it's $125 for the week. That includes all the activities that they have for the week from 8 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we do have an extended day from 4 to 5 if parents need that extra hour. Each week there's a different theme. And this year's theme is because it's an Olympic year, we're going to have it geared towards the Olympics. And when we work with the library, when we do the Wacky Wednesdays, some of those competitions will come and play.
Okay.
And so I'm really excited about that because we're trying to work in another department as well, another agency.
Yep.
Like tonight they're having a guest author tonight at the library. We try not to duplicate what they're doing,
Right.
but we can work with them. Last year we kicked off the summer with a big concert at the beach right before the all-day program started, and it was phenomenal success. So we're going to continue to do a series of events with them. But getting back to the all-day summer program, each week we have a performer coming in
Right.
for about an hour or so, and we also have a trip each week. So for $125, you're getting transportation tickets, you're getting performers, the only thing they have to do is provide their own lunch. And I found in the past that people used to provide lunches for them. Oh, geez, we're having pizza again.
Yeah.
So
And with food allergies and all that
Yeah.
fun
have to be
stuff.
you prepare your own food and bring it with us. Now, when we go roller skating, sometimes they have the pizza and soda pizza and chips. We can provide that for them.
And transportation.
And
is
transportation is done.
So what are some of the other trips that you guys do?
Well, just alone, the first one is the Yagu water slides. We kind of the Rhode Island in me, but the thing is, it's a small water park. Parents love to take their kids to different places in the summertime. In the past, they've gone to the one on the Cape. Waterways.
Yeah.
But some of the young kids we have, it's kind of big.
Yeah.
And parents get nervous about that. The water park that we go to, it's small. It's got a small pool, a couple of slides, and a big picnic grove. So parents,
Easy to manage.
It's easy to manage. It's easier for our staff to manage. That's our first week. And we're going to be going to the Paw Sox game. It's Recreation Day in July, so we'll go to the Paw Sox.
That's a lot of stuff.
one of our big trips we go down to Plymouth to go on the pirate cruises.
Okay.
That fills up really quick. So session 5.
So it's $125 for 1 week, and do they pick which week, or
They
how
can
do
pick
they?
any week they want. And this year, for the first time, the commissioners we talked about, if you sign up and pay for the whole summer in full, all 8 weeks, before June 1st, and it's next week, you get 1 free week for your child. So it's a savings of $125 for the week.
Right.
And we've had about 3 or 4 people take advantage of that.
Oh, great.
Situation. So again, when someone can say, actually one family has 2 children, so they save $250. So again, it might not have a big effect this year, but people say, hey, you know what they did?
That word of mouth again. Yeah.
And we're constantly changing how we do it. At the end of the year, we have evaluations of our program. Every program we do, whether it's the gingerbread workshop or the Easter egg hunt, every event we do a wrap up. How can we make it better? And that's how you improve. So it's easy because everybody always will say, you know what you should do, or you know what, here's my card. Come to the next meeting, and that's how we hook people into doing it. And then they realize it is fun.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I hooked Virgil last year. And we also had like John Rothwell. You know, he's already told me he's going to man that water station at Washington Street, so that's a tough one.
So how many children do you typically have participate in the summer program?
In that summer program, we'll have about 100 kids over the course of the summer. They may not come to every week, but they'll come because parents will take vacations. We'll get probably in our tennis program that's run by Doug Chapman and Coastal Tennis. We'll get about probably 30 or so kids. The field hockey program run by Jen Crook, high school field hockey camp, very popular. She'll get 30, 40 kids very easy for that 1 week field hockey camp, and that will fill up quick. We also have the basketball program, volleyball program. Those will hit another 30 or 40 kids. So again, we're not going to have hundreds and hundreds of people because there are so many different options out there. We're a small town, but we have good ideas, and we like to try and keep people active and moving. We also have trips we do for adults. Like we just came back from a trip in April to New York. We had in December we'll have 2 buses going down to New York after they light the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And that's always a sellout. In July we're gonna take in August, in between the end of our summer program and the start of school, there's that little bit of week time that we're gonna try and do some different things. But one of them is going to the Red Sox game. It's an afternoon game on a midweek on a Wednesday. It's Xander Bogaerts bobblehead day, and then any kid we take will get a chance to run the bases after the game. So again, these are fun things.
Great.
I get to find all these things out and say, hey, you want to come, and it's easy to do, But the all day summer program, that's a big program, and what we do at the very end, we have a big cookout at the end. We any of our volunteers that we have, they come. We set up the big grill. We cook hot dogs and hamburgers, and all the kids. We have carnival games, and we have water slides and bouncy houses.
Wow. It's constant.
So if a kid wasn't signed up for that week, but came to week 2 or came to week 3,
they won't miss.
Anybody who is signed up for any week in the summer gets to go to Carnival Day.
I think it's great.
Day.
Yeah.
So how do people sign up for these? What's the best way? I know you have a website. I know you have Facebook. I know people can walk in.
Yeah.
I like to have them walk in, but the problem is people really sometimes their work schedules they can't do that. So the best thing is go on the website. There's downloadable forms for any of our programs.
Okay.
They can download the program, the registration form. They can send it right into us, and then what we do is when we receive it, we'll give a call back and say we received your application, your registration form. Is this really what you wanted to sign up for? And
so there's a follow-up then.
There's a follow-up.
Can people pay online, or is it all
Not
check
yet.
only?
I'm working with the town treasurer because with the new website, they can pay some bills online. And I think that maybe after July 1st, we'll be able to do that sort of thing. Eventually, we'd like to be able to actually register online and pay online.
Right.
And so I think with
It'll
the new
get there.
website, I think it's slow progress. It's
Yep.
still progress.
It's still
and
progress.
It's baby steps. And again, I think people like the fact that I'll say, where did you hear about the program? And they'll say, on the website. And we have our little sign at the bottom of Riverside, and people will stop in.
Yeah.
Years ago, a few years back, we used to put all the flyers. We'd make a big brochure, and it just cost too much money.
Right.
People know with social media now,
it's so much quicker
easier. And we do get
efficient.
a lot of help with the school department because the superintendent will put our flyers and our information on their website as well, too.
Yep.
So we have this good working relationship with the school department. It's a reciprocal agreement that if they need something, we help them. If we need something, they help us. So it really works well.
It sounds great. I think you're making a huge collaborative effort, and you are building community in everything that you do, bringing the town together, essentially, all ages. You're bridging that generation gap. You're building that community. It's excellent.
It's easy when you have people who are enthusiastic about it.
Right.
There are some days that like any job, you get beat up.
Yeah.
And you have a bad day.
Right.
Just recently, I had a woman come in to sign up for a yoga class at night, and I said, I said, how'd you hear about it so soon? We just put it on the website. She says, well, the instructor sends out an email too that a class is coming. And so she does a wonderful job for us, Diane Roderick. She's our yoga lady, and she that's another one too that she does at the Council on Aging. But this year, the summertime on Sunday mornings, if you're up early on Sunday mornings, and there's a 4-week program starting in June, Sunday yoga on the beach, and it's 8:30 in the morning. So you can go from there and then go to church or go afterwards, and but it's a nice little program. It's such a serenity.
Yeah.
That it goes on at the beach, and she does a wonderful job.
It's good to see. I mean, you're so passionate about it. It is
it's
kind
awesome.
of.
Again, I
Well, I think
could
it
talk
shows in
forever
the program.
I can talk
I think
forever
it
about
shows.
it. But talking is one thing; it's actually doing it.
And you do. You walk the walk.
And one thing I have to tell you, I have to tell everybody, because everybody, and this is a good forum to do this. One of the things that we've done, when I first came here, we talked about capital improvements to our facilities. And it's starting to build with community preservation programs. You're going to see this summer, you're going to see the beach sand at the beach, the basketball courts at Pottersville being taken care of. But the one program I got to talk about, I have to make sure I get it in before we close, is O'Neill Field. Everybody calls and asks about O'Neill Field. O'Neill Field was a really unplayable condition for a couple of years. The Playground and Recreation Commission decided to take money out of our revolving fund to be able to start the process before we started doing CPA funding. And I credit the board for taking that action. And it's been a long time coming, and I'll say it right to the camera. Forget what you hear from other people. You're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. The field will be done in a timely fashion this later on in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
It's just we had a really wet winter this.
Yeah, we did.
The company that we're actually using, they've done a phenomenal job in some of our other fields. It's just they get backlogged.
Yeah.
And the weather hasn't been conducive so far for growing.
No.
So.
But when we do something,
right now.
when we do something, we're going to do it right. If someone's saying that the field is not safe to play, guess what? You're not going to play on it.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you're telling me it's not safe, we're going to take care of it.
Correct.
Exactly.
So we're excited about that project and some of the other things on the road. It's like, it is exciting. It's infectious. My wife. So what'd you talk about today? It's fun. It's fun because I'm surrounded by people who have the same passion. Like I love when we do the Spirit of Somerset. I got so much grief because I took a cruise last year during the Spirit of Somerset, but I'm going to be there for the Spirit of Somerset this year because we have a recreation. We have the train, and that's being Diamond Vocation. We talk about collaborative. We've had it over there at Diamond being redone and remodeled, and we're hoping that we'll be able to use it not just for the Spirit of Somerset, but for other events that we have. Maybe just even at the beach on a Sunday afternoon, we'll have some train rides.
Right.
I'd just like to make one public idea, an idea out public is this year we should probably try to do some sort of a folly over at Pottersville with the Christmas tree lighting, and that'd be a great kind of event, I think, for the entire community. It's centrally located.
I have some ideas with that because I've talked with the Lions Club a little bit, and one of the things that you can do is like a festival of lights.
Correct.
And we had a little tree lighting this past year, and it worked out really well. And you know what? I think we do a festival of lights, the lighting of the season. It goes right through till January.
Right.
And I think if people have their ideas, they can talk to the selectmen or they can talk to us. again, it's a community experience, and I got an in with Santa Claus too. So
Well, I think
know
you
Santa
said
Claus
I think you
very
said
well.
it right at the beginning. Baby steps, right? Do a program, do it right, get buy-in, then go to the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, not every program is going to be a success.
Correct.
You know, but you know what? If you don't try, you don't know.
Right.
You know, people say, "Well, look at this town, this town," but what do you want to see in your town?
Correct.
We have some great businesses in town that will come to me and they'll say,
Yeah.
you want to help. We want to help out.
Right.
We're getting constantly calls from businesses will say, you know what, we can help you with this or help you with that.
I think that's a great point to end on. Collaboration, community. It's what it's all about, and it's what you represent and what you portray, you're building this community for the town. So in closing, I want to thank everyone for watching. We need to come together as a town and act as one. We need to collaborate to move forward. We need to help keep each other informed so that we can make educated decisions for our town. Please reach out to us if you have any ideas or guests, or if you would guests you would like to see on the show, or if you yourself would like to be on the show. We would love to hear from you. Feedback is welcome. Please visit our website, somersetroundtable.com, or email us at info@somersetroundtable.com. Thanks.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Barry
And
Fontaine.
we have gifts for you too. So
Okay.
we have gifts, and one of the things we have is we have little flashlights, and on the flashlight it says Somerset Recreation brightens your day. So if you want a flashlight, come into the recreation office.
Great.
And we can get you.
Will do.
Thank you.